Hey everybody, how's it going? This is episode number 1, take 2, because yesterday was a complete fucking shit show of Fandom Empire Live. These two fine gentlemen are making their, I guess, sort of YouTube debuts with us. Um, it should have been yesterday, but I mean, just nothing could go right for us. But on the bright side, at least we aren't telling people to drink Lysol and Clorox. Alrighty, let's dive into episode 1 of Fandom Empire Live. If you guys would like to leave a comment during this episode, feel free to do so. We will do our best to get back to you whenever we possibly can. And if you don't want to leave a comment, then great. And even if you leave a comment after the episode's up and it's not live, generally we do a good job of getting back to everybody. So a little bit of what this show's about is 1 or 2 times a week we're going to get on here, and for the next couple of Fridays anyway, we're going to review the end of the Siege of Mandalore arc in the Clone Wars, and the end of the Clone Wars, which is turning out to be spec-fucking-tacular, if you don't mind me saying, as well as going through other movie news and just stuff that's going on in the world right now. And I mean, other than that nasty old virus going around, there's not a whole lot going on right now. But let's get to introducing these two fine, outstanding, beautiful-looking gentlemen in a completely platonic way, of course. First up...
Yeah, you mean it platonic. Yeah.
And clearly Tommy B's on the happy juice. The man that you just heard speak, Tommy B, up there in your top right-hand corner. He's our own Wizard of Oz. He does a lot of the stuff behind the scenes on Fandom Empire. I know those of you that don't watch our Facebook stuff and are just exclusively watching our YouTube shit, I've been saying for a while, this little shindig is more than just this face right here. And you're probably going, well, why don't we ever see anybody else? Well, that's about to change. We're finally at a point where we're happy with how the YouTube channel's going. We're doing more than just Halloween videos now. But Tommy B, man, thanks for doing this today. How you doing, dude? Sucking back that happy juice?
You know it, always. Hey, I'm hanging in there, just taking each day by day in these challenging times. But hey, that's not without some good stuff. Like we're rocking with some fan-freaking-tastic Clone Wars episodes to round out the series, much deserved after all these years. I'm loving it. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, dude. This is our first ever YouTube live stream. We successfully tagged the videos this time. Still not sure how the output looks in regards to that. We're getting our feet wet. Trial and error. If you've been following us for a long time, way back when McMahon and I, alongside Mondo, who's not here, started Star Wars Wastelands, the first few episodes of that were a little rocky too. So bear with us. Also joining us this evening, that guy that's being sucked up by that black hole there, or whatever it is. Sometimes you'll hear me refer to him as Fizz. You all can call him McMahon. How's it going, dude? Yeah, we cannot hear you. Sometimes it helps when you unmute yourself. That's a wonderful start to your YouTube debut.
Hey, it was inevitable. Around these here parts, one of us is going to do it. And hey, why not do it off the top?
The black hole has swallowed his voice!
Okay, now I'm going to say this again, because I only said it to myself the first time, and any squirrels that might have been outside my window listening. It's not a black hole, it's a nebula. Okay?
Nebula.
You wouldn't... if it was a black hole, it would be black.
Can you get a Sarlacc pit? That'd be great.
Just
I mean, I could.
Sarlacc pit, swallow them in. Even a Kraken, Pirates of the Caribbean style. No? Nobody else digging the Kraken? Well, you better dig
right. Yeah, I'll take it. Why the hell not? Yeah.
You better start digging the Kraken name at the very least, because that's likely your new name for the new NHL franchise coming to Seattle. There's a little bit of sports talk. And if you're hoping we talk about the NFL draft in this episode, we won't. Other than McMahon's not happy that they drafted a QB out in Green Bay. So... why, I don't know, but that's the way it is. If you look down at the bottom right-hand side, which I'm pointing the opposite direction because this is showing opposite, so I should be pointing that way. We're going through the intros right now. We're going to kick off with some Halloween Ends versus the Batman, which is what we recorded yesterday. It died or something. I don't know what the hell happened. We're still getting used to this. We're going to get to a Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 10 review, and let you guys know right now at the top, we're talking spoilers. You don't want to be spoiled? Get out. Get. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the new Star Wars TV show that's apparently coming, as long as it doesn't get canceled 2 weeks from now. All right, guys, let's dive into this. Halloween Ends in 2021 is going to be going up against The Batman, which has moved to an October 1st release date. Almost sounds like we've talked about this before.
Just familiar.
Uncharted comes out, apparently, October 8th. You know, don't write that one down in stone just yet. And then you have Halloween Ends. So some of the rumblings that I've heard out there, and, you know, if you've paid attention to the channel, I wouldn't say we've been spot on our Halloween content and rumors and reports, but we've been pretty fucking good with it. We're really careful about what we put on there. We don't just throw shit against a wall hoping it sticks, unless you're Tommy B, who does that for fun on his spare time. Just playing.
How do you know what Tommy throws against walls?
I might have been the wall one day. Anyway. So, guys, the rumor that's out there right now is Halloween Ends is going to back up its release date 2 weeks, possibly, to October 29th. This is unconfirmed. You don't have other big sites reporting this, like Hollywood Reporter or Variety. You don't even have guys like Dave McCrae or Drum Dums or We Watched a Movie going on about this. But there are some rumblings about it out there that it could get backed up 2 weeks. Fizz, over to you first. Does it make sense to back up Halloween Ends 2 weeks to avoid the Batman specifically, but even Uncharted? Like, hey, you and I are Halloween fans, and I promise everybody we're getting to another episode of Halloween Talk one day. Might be Halloween 72 by the time we get to it, but they don't have a chance against the Batman. Could be the biggest shit loaf turd you've ever seen, and it's going to beat Halloween in the box office. It's the Batman. So does it not make sense to back this thing up closer to Halloween?
I mean, logically, yes. I mean, you know, like I said, you know, I was going to reiterate a point I made on the session that only you and Tommy heard yesterday, unless you were listening live, in which case I don't think anyone really was, but I digress. You know, 2 weeks is a long time in cinema if the Batman is crap. You know, Justice League died in 2 weeks. You know, so it's not unfathomable that this thing sucks, that, you know, Halloween in its current release slot would be going in basically unopposed, because I don't believe there's a snowball's chance in hell that Uncharted is going to come out on October 8th. But, you know, that said, moving it back 2 weeks, why not? There's no reason not to. I mean, there's nothing coming at the end of that month that's dangerous and scary, unless somebody else changes a release date into that window, which is entirely possible at this juncture. But, you know, right now we would be basically unopposed outside of, you know, the 5th weekend for the Batman and the 4th weekend for Uncharted, which, you know, is still a long time in cinemas. You know, unless the Batman is going to go out there and put up Avengers type numbers, which I doubt.
It's not going to do that. But I do think it's going to be good. I do. I'm in the category of I'm a bat lever in that movie.
No, you did not just say that.
I did it. Also, by the way, just off topic here. Tommy B, are you in need of a massage, man? I'm watching you over there in the right-hand corner, and I'm seeing him going
you know
like
it.
this.
Oh, my gosh.
And, you know,
I think I'm, like you, am in need of a new chair. Maybe I'll be lucky if I make it to the end of this you know, closure period without ordering one online. But there is.
Hold on a minute. Can I interest you in a massage?
I mean, hey, I have wonderful hands. They're silky smooth, but you're all the way down in. Look. If for those that don't know, McMahon and I are Canadian. We might not sound like it, and McMahon might try to act as American as he possibly can at times. But Tommy B's the American in this trio, and us two are Canadian, so we got North America represented quite well here. I need a new chair.
We don't have any Mexicans.
Hey, Mondo could pass for one.
that I can't tell if that was racist or not, but
I'm going to err
on the side of it was.
I assure you it absolutely wasn't. No, this is exciting times for us here. It's our first episode of Fandom Empire Live on the YouTube channel. We've done stuff similar to this on Facebook, which is cool. We've got great views over there. The YouTube channel's been thriving. Once again, if you want to drop a comment down in the comment section below, we'll do our best to get to it, whether it's live or afterwards. Tommy B, over to you quickly. Final thoughts on Halloween Ends. Switching dates to October 29th, 2021. Not confirmed, but there's some rumblings out there. It seems to make sense, dude, financially. Why would you risk staying?
There's absolutely no reason why they should not push back that movie. Push back the movie. Number one, you get it out of the competition a little bit. Number two, it's closer to Halloween. Why would you not kick it back a little further? Makes no sense. It's a no-brainer from my perspective.
Absolutely, completely agree with you. We'll have to see what happens. Watch it closely. Don't be surprised if in the next few weeks or few months you see Halloween Ends backed up. And if you do see it backed up, it more than likely doesn't have anything to do with that virus that's going around right now. So, anyways, let's shift gears to our next topic. That's right. Clone Wars Season 7, the final season. Episode 10. I believe this one was called The Secret Apprentice.
Yes.
The episode, which makes some sense. We know who it's referring to. So, I'm going to set it to you first, Fizz. Thoughts on this episode? Just initial thoughts after viewing it.
My initial thoughts are something like, I was hot and bothered. It was amazing. I loved it.
Tommy B?
I loved it, and really, it's tearing me apart. I loved it so much, and I rated last week's episode so well, and now I have to somehow rank this one. And I've mulled it over more and more, and yes, this one is better than last week's. But I adored last week's. So,
Tommy's gonna wreck the curve.
It's a beautiful problem. They're ending this series in a damn good way.
Well, I mean, at least you're not trapped in a glass case of emotion and can't get out of it. Anchorman reference.
I'll save that for after the finale.
Yeah. Look, this is it's almost like the sister show to Revenge of the Sith right now. The sister movie, and okay, I got to get this off my chest real quickly. I really think that when you look at it, when you're looking at Revenge of the Sith and you're looking at the Siege of Mandalore, and they're clearly both happening at the same time. It's hard to tell where Revenge of the Sith is at the end of this episode. My guess is they're probably right at the point where Anakin has turned, and we're literally just before Order 66 now, which clearly is going to happen on the show, possibly even more. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but what I wanted to get off my chest is when you look, I get it, there's a petition out there by someone we know, and I don't really give a shit about petitions, if I'm being honest. They don't work. But when you look at the way that this arc has been put together, if you look at where the last episode ended and this episode started, it literally right on point. It's very clear that these 4 episodes are supposed to be one big movie. Well, I shouldn't say big movie, but a feature-length movie, feature-length animated movie. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing that eventually. I don't know if it'll come out in theaters, but I know some people are going to point fingers. It was the petition. It was the petition. It's like, clearly, by the way it's edited, they had already thought of this. So I really liked it, guys. I've been blown away twice in a row, which is really cool. And if you tuned into our review of it last week on our Facebook channel, we suggested that we might get one Order 66 episode. I'd argue that it looks like we're going to get 2. Tommy B, where are you with that?
I might have ended a little skeptical last week about whether or not we were even going to actually see Order 66. Maybe these episodes would end just prior to it. Oh no. Oh no, we're going to see it. And we're going to see Ahsoka in the middle of it. That's what I'm thinking right now. I think we're going to be seeing Ahsoka escaping. We're going to see a lot of the clones definitely turning, like you were calling for previously. We're going to see how Rex avoids that. So yeah. I think that the next episode is going to probably really focus on Order 66. Maybe not immediately as it starts. And I think the last one will sort of be like tie up some loose ends. Order 66 elements are going to be present, but it's going to be more of a farewell to everything in the Clone Wars and sort of preface, the Rise of the Empire era and all that sort of thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're definitely going to get Order 6, and I think it's going to happen in the next episode. I mean, the timeline set up.
Apologies. Sorry about that. I don't think they could actually hear me there. Having some technical issues there, but I think we figured it out. Really quickly here, guys. I just wanted to say that it feels like they're setting up for the Maul Ahsoka frenemies. If I'm repeating myself, apologies, but I'm pretty sure the host could hear me and the audience couldn't. See, I like it, to me, it feels like Maul, Ahsoka, and Rex are going to be like the centerpiece of how we end the Clone Wars. Yeah, the audio was gone. Thanks, David. I thought so. It's appreciated. No, I think that when you look at it, that's what we're setting up for, a frenemy escape here at the end. And obviously, McMahon, you before the show mentioned the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, it is what it is. I think that's where they're going, and I'd be okay with it. Sorry, you were saying, Fizz.
I mean, I think they kind of have to, just based on the timeline they've set up. I mean, when Ahsoka and Obi-Wan were talking just before the final battle of this episode started, he was just about to go after Grievous. So, I mean, we're not far, just based on timelines. He if I had to ballpark, I'd say when they capture Maul's probably right around the time he actually kills Grievous, just based on guessing timelines of how long it would take him to get there and, have that battle and then defeat him. So, we're not far from Order 66 in timeline. So, I suggested to you off air that, it's going to happen while they're in transit with Maul back to Coruscant, because it's obviously where they're going to take him. Yeah. So it's going to happen somewhere during that trip, whether that's going to be early in this episode, somewhere halfway around this episode, or maybe even as far as the end of this episode, setting up, their big escape and to end the series. But that, I don't know if they're going to end the series that way, so we're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, there's so many questions that don't have answers right now, and they've definitely done a good job setting them up and making it feel different. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the intro was different in this episode.
It was the same as the last episode.
I was going to ask if it was the same in the last episode, because I didn't look.
Yeah,
I know last week
felt like an old Lucasfilm movie.
Last week I skipped the skip intro.
Oh,
last week
that
I
was
did
a
skip
mistake.
intro. This week I noticed the Lucasfilm there at the start. It's like, wait, that's different. That's what's going on here. And then I ran it through, and it's like, whoa, this is different. I like this.
It's not the first time we have had something like this. There were episodes in the past that had a red Clone Wars crawl of sorts before. I can't quite remember.
They still had the crawl, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was never anything this different. Like this is
the first time they've done the retro Lucasfilm one. Yeah.
This was cinematic, and that's what it felt like. I mean, I didn't notice it in the last episode because I skipped intro, but I always do that in series where I'm watching multiple episodes, except DuckTales. Always watch the DuckTales intro. But I skipped it last week. I watched it this week. I'm like, this is different. If they did this last week, it kind of further equates that maybe they are thinking of some sort of cinematic release, maybe not theatrical, but putting it out as a special, a 2-hour DVD. I think is definitely in the offing here, if not three. I mean, in a world without what we're getting, we could very well have a theatrical release for this, and I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't the original plan, prior to 2020. But now, obviously, that's not going to happen, unless they decide to do it, knock on wood, in the fall. Then maybe they could, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath for it, that's for sure. But I don't think the petition that's gone around there has any merit on this. If they weren't already planning it, it's not going to happen. If it happens, it's because that was always the plan. They just never told us that.
Yep. Thank you. I mean, hey, I love the guy that started that petition just as much as the two of you guys do, but it's not because of that. I'm sorry. Let's be real. Tommy B, when you look at it, what is the best part of this episode in your opinion?
Wow, I should have had more prepared for that.
You should have expected this question.
Yeah, I should have. I just love the whole thing.
Now you
it
fucked
blew me
up.
away. Wait. I'm going to give you an answer. It's when Maul started, dismissed everyone else. Him and Ahsoka had their moment. She slowly starts saying, "Yeah, I'll help you. We can do this. What do you want with Skywalker?" And then the battle began. That the tension in that moment, you could have cut it with a knife. It was fan-freaking-tastic.
I've always hated that metaphor. Cut it with the knife. Of course you're going to cut it with a knife.
All right, hater.
Cut almost anything.
Tell us what you like best, hater. We know.
Cut it with a spoon is a much better metaphor, isn't it? Right? Because a spoon's not made for cutting. You're cutting something with an object made for cutting. Like, what? The metaphor makes no sense. It's an old metaphor that makes no sense. But, that's not what this tangent is about.
Well, I mean, you could use a plastic butter knife. I don't know if it's going to cut through dog shit, though, to be honest. So
that depends on which kind.
What kind of dog shit? That's pretty sick, dude.
What kind of plastic knife?
What are you feeding your dog at night? Unbelievable. Fizz, favorite part of the episode?
Oh, easily Ahsoka versus Maul up in the sky rafters. That was just like I'm sitting here and I'm watching it and I'm like, my kingdom to see this in live action. That battle was. It was.
Well, you kind of did.
Anakin,
you kind of did
Anakin,
see it in
Obi-Wan,
live
and
action.
Mustafar.
This is kind of common knowledge now, so I'm probably just spewing off shit people already know. But that's Ray Park and a stunt person for Ahsoka, and they motion captured that fight. It's the first Clone Wars fight that's been motion captured, and that's pretty cool. They announced this a long time ago, obviously, but to me, you could really tell during this fight that this doesn't look like your typical Clone Wars fight with sort of has like the weird, not pauses, but like weird motions between each move, where this was much smoother and much more precise.
Oh, very much so. I mean, you hit it straight on, and when I say I wanted to see it in live action, I mean, I assumed that it was mocapped because it just had that look and feel to it, but like I just would have loved to have seen that in live action. It was, oh God, it was amazing. It was beautiful.
Yeah, no, it was solid shit, that's for sure. My favorite part of the episode is probably the same as you guys. The fight was epic. It was great, but I like a lot of the stuff that happens before the fight too. And Maul's like knowing how important his positioning was during Revenge of the Sith, and how, well, yes, he's obviously a villain. He's actually trying to do something good. He's trying to prevent Darth Vader from the vision he's seen. And hey, I'm not trying to spin. He's trying to save the universe. He's not trying to do that. He's trying to save his own neck by eliminating Darth Vader from happening. And I thought that's a unique perspective. Almost, for me anyways, kind of predicted it from the beginning. But I'm okay with that stance because even, fast forward a bunch of years of Star Wars Rebels, him at the end, it's there's a sense of closure. Like even there at the end, he wanted Ahsoka to let him die. So like he's definitely Sam Witwer has brought so much gravitas to that character, and like the emotional atmosphere that he's provided to that character. That, no offense to Ray Park never would have been able to do, and it's fantastic. It's a really the character's very human, very someone that's battling his own demons and trying to get over them. So Darth Maul has been for me anyways, even though he's only been in 3 episodes now, briefly in the one, and then kind of centerpiece in the last 2. Maul's the MVP for me of Clone Wars final season so far. What about you guys? What do you think?
It's hard to argue that. I mean, if Snips hadn't gone through that walkabout in that middle arc, she'd have a shot. But, because of the fact that, that middle arc was so pedestrian, it takes away a lot of the oomph that her arc has had, because her in this arc, in this Mandalorian Siege of Mandalore arc, has been intense. She's fighting she's fighting a personal battle on multiple fronts. She's fighting against the Jedi Order, she's fighting against Maul, she's fighting to protect her master, and there's so much going on within her arc that is amazing, that was so badly damaged by just the mediocre episodes in the middle.
All right, guys, it's scoring time. Tommy B, you were talking about this before the show, man. I feel like you're always anxious to give us your score as soon as you possibly can. It's almost like he wakes up in the morning, watches the episode, and as soon as it's over, it's, what's my score gonna be? What's your score?
I'm sorry.
Tommy?
Have you hacked Tommy's camera and watched him all day?
No,
that's
is
pretty
exactly
plausible.
What happens? That is exactly what happens. I literally, I wake up, I kind of groggle awake. Hell, I watch Friday's Clone Wars before I have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. It is the first fucking thing I do on Fridays. I am going to miss this edition of my day. I really am.
Well, you still have it, man. You got the making of the Mandalorian that'll follow up the next 8 weeks on Fridays too.
Yeah,
so.
it's not.
Well, that's wait.
Oh, it's
that?
Fantastic, man. It's
No.
For you.
Do we know that's going to be Fridays? Because it premieres on Monday.
Oh, does it?
Well, yeah, but that's because it does. They're premiering the first episode on the 4th, but that was a last-minute decision thing. Every other episode will debut on Friday, according to their schedule.
And on May the 4th, we also get the last Clone Wars episode.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, but I'll say it. I love you, Sage, but there's no way that watching a behind the scenes of the Mandalorian is anywhere close. I mean, for you it is, and
okay, it's not close to the Siege of Mandalore.
No,
but it's better than what we got earlier, in my opinion, including the Bad Batch.
Staring at the turds in the toilet is probably better than those 2 episodes we had to start the middle arc. But that's being overly aggressive, I think. But I mean, I know you're going to get a great amount of enjoyment out of this behind the scenes Mandalorian thing, but I honestly don't even know if I'm going to watch it.
Oh, that's pitiful. Sorry, that's terrible.
They don't do for me what they do for you. I mean, you love that minutia, the behind the scenes creation, all that stuff, and I like it in small doses. I don't like the epics. I mean, but to each their own.
I want to punch you right now.
Like that's somehow new.
All right, let's move on.
Tommy B, give us your score.
I'm gonna do it.
Well, yes, that's the whole point of this part of the show.
I don't know if I'm pretty sure in the past I said I was never going to do this, but I'm just going to go ahead and fucking do it. I give this episode a 7 out of 7. I was thoroughly engaged the entire time. There is nothing I would have changed. I am completely happy with it. The parallels they are drawing with Revenge of the Sith are fantastic. And I can't wait till next week. 7 out of 7.
So basically what Tommy B just said is he's given it 7 out of 7. There's nothing he would have changed. So if he would have changed something, he's basically saying that he would have been perfect in what he was doing. Wow, you're real confident in your filmmaking abilities there, Tommy B. I'm just busting your balls. Fizz, what is it? We know you aren't giving it 7.
I'm not giving it 7 for a multitude of reasons. One, I don't do 7s because nothing is perfect no matter what it is. Empire's not perfect. It's probably a 6.9 out
I'm
of 7
sorry,
for damn
is,
sure.
Empire is perfect.
I don't think anything can be perfect. But, that's just my personal choices. But
You
I'm
suck,
sure,
Fizz.
let's be real. There's some continuity errors in Empire that take away from perfection. And there is, but it would definitely be a solid 6.9. But my gut tells me that the last 2 episodes of this series are going to be each better than the last. So I'm kind of going out on a limb and giving myself wiggle room so that I don't have to give 7s, and episodes that are better can be ranked better. So I'm going to give it a 6.25.
6.25.
Despite my reluctance to
So
give.
hang on, this episode's worse than the last episode?
Last week I gave it a 6.
No, you gave it a 6.5.
Did I give it a 6.5?
You sure did.
Okay, then I thought last week I gave it a 6.
You just give it a 66 for order 66.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a. I'm going to give it. No, well, I'm going to give it a 6.6.
That's what I'm
next
doing.
week. Next week we'll get the 6.66.
I'm giving it a 6.6 as well. Yeah, it's not a 7. It's better than last week's episode. The two of them together, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. People can hate on me all they want and point me out to be a sequel trilogy hater, even though I love The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker is very messy but enjoyable at times. I won't be surprised if the Siege of Mandalore, when it's done, the 4 together, if we were to consider that a movie, that I like it way more than anything else we've gotten in the Disney era. It's heading that way.
I don't know if I can say anything in the Disney
era.
Yeah,
I love Rebels.
I'm not counting Rebels.
Whoa, whoa. You're comparing Rebels to the last 2 episodes that we've gotten? How dare you on the day of my daughter's wedding?
I'm more concerned that you're comparing them and scoring it better than these last 2 episodes. Because there's no 2 episodes on the Rebels that come anywhere close to these last 2 episodes.
And I love
I
Thrawn.
enjoyed Rebels a great deal.
And I love Vader. But Rebels just isn't close to it. It's not. To each his own. We're all entitled to our own opinion, but I don't think Disney's produced anything even remotely close to what
I think TFA still better than this. I mean, I'd have to sit down and watch them all.
You're just a prequel hater. Prequel hater. If this was original trilogy content, you'd be like, no, it's better. Prequel hater.
Well, that's
right, McMahon, that guy right there. You can find him at McMahon_fandom. He's a prequel hater. Hit him up.
If you look for me at McMahon_fandom, you'll find somebody else, I'm sure.
Oh.
But not me.
Oh.
You got it backwards.
All right. Well, Fandom McMahon, whatever. Something like that. All right, we've given our scores. Let's move on to the last piece of news, and that is I already forgot her name.
Did you give yours?
6.6.
Yeah, 6.6. He's
okay.
echoing my score. He's a score thief.
I am not a score thief. Anyways, the creator of Russian Dolls,
Leslie Headland.
Leslie Headland is Headland. Oh,
yes.
Leslie Headland. Oh, that poor.
But I'd ask you to spell it because it's spelled
that
weird.
Poor girl in school. I tell you. Anyway, Russian Dolls is it's pretty highly reviewed, and I've heard people hype it. I've never seen it.
It's on my list. I just haven't got around to watching it.
She's on tap to do her own Star Wars show. I just got to question when, unless it's already in production. We haven't heard anything about it because it's like, we know Kenobi's basically going to come out in 2022. We know Cassian's 2021. We know Mandalorian's going to be in all these years, it looks like. When are they going to get to this new show, and what is it? I'm assuming it's live action and not animated, although they didn't classify it. They also said, by the way, I got to clarify this here. It's not in a different Star Wars timeline. Like, it's not an alternate dimension. It just takes place during a different time period in Star Wars, is what they said. And that's all we know. There's people going out there with the alternate dimensions and, oh, we're getting our Legends characters back and all that jazz. But no, that's not what they said at all. As much as I might want that too, it's not what they said. I don't see this project seeing the light of day for a very long time. What about you, Fizz?
Yeah, it's not I definitely think we're going to see the Cassian series before this, and I think we're still, 2 years away from that. I don't expect to see the Cassian series until 2022 at the earliest. So I don't expect to see the series until at least, let's say later half 2022 or into 2023.
Well, Cassian's 2021.
Well, I'm saying I don't
Kenobi's
think it's actually
2022.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if those two don't end up flip flopping.
So, well, yeah. I mean, Cassian's had more problems than Kenobi. Um,
Cassian's had more problems than everything. Like it's the Rogue One curse is following the characters.
yeah. No, absolutely.
I gotta tell you something.
Here comes the hate.
I'm getting nervous. There's too much stuff
What?
getting developed at once. Whenever this has happened in the past, it's usually spelled disaster.
Yeah. Which is why I sort of tongue-in-cheek said, I don't even know if this project's going to see the light of day. Because it might not.
And, I've never been super hype about the Cassian series.
If not for the casting we got last week, I would straight up call the cat. If you'd have asked me a week ago, I would have said, yeah, Cassian's dead in the water. It's not going to happen. And then the casting reports came out, and it's like, wow, there's actually something going on here. Okay.
I really hope that like other projects that have come out in the past, I get excited about them early on as things start coming out. Cassian is not my favorite Star Wars character. He's not a character I would have picked anywhere on a list for giving a series like this. So I really hope that things change. But as it stands right now, of projects I care about, it's pretty close to the bottom. And I think we're developing too many things at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't new. This is like, I'm not going to
The
get
rumors are still floating around about a Rebel sequel series. There's been nothing official ever about it.
Well,
by no
the
means.
fact is, whatever animated series is coming, those things are done years in advance. So whenever you see the first season, they already have 2 seasons done. That's just the way their animation department works. I'm not going to get on the Kathleen Kennedy hate train. I've said my piece on her. I think she's one of the most talented producers ever in Hollywood, but I think it's time for a seat change at Lucasfilm. It has been for a while. I think results show that. And, it is what it is. David Irwin brings up some good points in the chat. He agrees with McMahon. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I'm not sure ever agreeing with McMahon.
Oh, hey.
And he also brought up the sibling angle that John Carpenter added in Halloween 2. In a nutshell, basically, for those Halloween fans that are still watching, Carpenter felt like he needed something in the Halloween 2 script that he was working on, and was drinking beer one night and decided to make them siblings. Legit how it went down. So,
if you make your scripting decisions while drinking alcohol, you did something wrong. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are.
Well, there goes almost every live video I've done for who knows how long. I don't have a big bottle of Crown Royal here.
Thankfully, you do the prep work sober. At least I hope you do.
Sometimes. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Fandom Empire Live, Episode 1 in the books. You can check us out on Facebook, Fandom Empire. Give us a like. If you're a Halloween fan, punch in Halloween Kills 2020. Give us a like over there. Most importantly, though, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, smash that subscribe button. Click that notification bell and keep up to date on all of our future content. That was a terrible Cochran voice. I tried, though.
Was that supposed to be Cochran?
I needed to get it. See, I need to get into it. I literally have to. It takes me a few minutes to get into it. So let me tell you, the video sounds a lot better than that.
You need a few shots. And,
yeah, that's exactly what you
donuts.
need. You just need to swing back some Crown Royal, a couple of sprinkled donuts, try not to choke on them, and there we go. But seriously, though, commenting on our videos, we always take the time to get back. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we're a small channel, but we're growing thanks to your constant support and contributions to us. And you can catch us next Monday on Facebook. With the Fandom... Sorry, it's not the Fandom Empire Roundtable on Monday. It's Fandom Empire presents the Star Wars Wastelands Reunion, which will be us 3 and Mondo talking about the sequel trilogy. It's a retrospective on the sequel trilogy, which if you're coming for completely positive takes, you might want to avoid that episode. There'll be some positive for sure, but it is what it is.
As long as we're talking about The Force Awakens.
Definitely Halloween talk next week. Had some time to think about it, Fizz. I think we decided on we're going to do a Halloween Resurrection watch-along.
That was the plan.
So we'll do a Halloween Resurrection watch-along. That'll be some fun. And we'll have another Fandom Empire Live next week. Maybe two. We'll have to wait and see. Tommy B, dude, where can everybody find you at, man?
Find me on over
Local
Facebook
massage
with our
table?
various groups, pages, all that good, fantastic stuff. And you can catch me on over Twitter at Zaz1650. That's XAS1650.
And at the local massage parlor. There's some big guy named Steve who talks like this. Gets in there real nice and tight on your neck.
What I need is a new computer chair. But
Oh, me too.
That got really weird.
I don't like the idea of I had people at the stores telling me you probably shouldn't drop $300 or $400 on a computer chair till you can sit in it. People that are trying to sell me their product are just being honest, going, you know what, dude, you need to wait till we open back up so you can sit in it. We don't want you to waste your money. And it's like, whoa, you know the world's changed when they're selling you on not spending your money. So it is what it is. Fizz, where can everybody find you at, man?
Oh man, you can
Hater
find
Club?
me.
Prequel hater
No,
club?
that's
Prequel haters
that's-
are us.
Well, I mean, you won't find me there, but I may or may not own a few franchises of that particular store. No, you can find me on the lovely shows here on this station or on our Facebook page, and you can find me on maybe one day I'll actually start using it, Twitter at Fandom_McMahon.
It sounds like a plan. Sounds like a lot of fun. Also, David Irwin, we'll get your last comment in here quickly. A Halloween 6 or 4 would be a great watch-along if you're a Thorn Trilogy fans. I am. I just don't like Halloween 5. I like the producer's cut of Halloween 6. I love Halloween 4.
Notice how he picked the two you actually like.
Yes, I love Halloween 4. It's actually my favorite movie in all the Halloween franchise. And actually just ordered some Halloween 4
It's safe
shirts,
to say
so
we'll get to that one.
definitely. We have a YouTube video coming up, David, and everybody else who's watching, on Halloween 4. It's a short little 10-minute video on Halloween 4. But at the end of it, we basically introduce the fact that we're going to be doing a watch-along at Halloween 4. But when we do the Halloween 4 watch-along, I'd like to start in order and go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. And it'll be the producer's cut of 6 that we end up doing. We'll watch 5, but if you're looking for many positive comments on 5, I mean, you'll probably find more positive comments out of from me on The Last Jedi than Halloween 5, and that's saying something. So,
Yeesh.
yeesh is right. You can catch me on Twitter at Sage Fandom. Check us out on Facebook, Fandom Empire. One more time, smash that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. We'd love your support. And if you have some coupons for Tommy B to visit your local massage parlor, parlay?
We are not
This is
doing
going
parlay.
well. Anyways, ladies
How
and
much
gentlemen.
of that crown have you had?
Too much of it. Sorry, I was reading the chat. I'm getting multiple chats in here. I wish the people that message me privately as we're doing videos would just use the video feed. So it would be a lot easier on me, guys. So if you're watching this still. Anyway, folks, for Tommy B, Fizz, I'm Sage. This was episode number 1 of Fandom Empire Live. And always remember, the Green Bay Packers do indeed suck. Good night.